My name is Mark Russell, and welcome to the club. The club is a podcast where we talk about how old we are and things that we like and music and the Dogman, apparently. And
Swan Johnson.
And if you like our show, you can do. What do they do on?
Well, they're on YouTube.
Well, I know they're on YouTube, but what do they do? Because we're also release a video, a vlogcast, and a podcast. So if you're on
Spotify and Apple,
you just hit subscribe.
You hit subscribe or follow, depending on what service you're
All
on.
right, and if you're on YouTube, you hit the subscribe button, and if your name is Richard,
you send it.
You send that subscribe button right into the bell door, right there. Swan Johnson, I was talking to him recently, and he's really excited. He's really excited about all the new nerd TV shows. There's kind of a hole in our heart. Well, there's The Boys, which I haven't seen yet.
That's a good show. If you haven't watched it, I watched it all the way through. It starts good at first. You go, oh, I like it, I dig it. Then you go, this could happen. If there was superheroes and they existed, this is what happened. All right, that lady's face
So
is
is
gone.
it kind of like Super, where it's just the guy from The Office hitting people in the head with a wrench?
No. It's like, imagine the Justice League were born in America that we know today, corrupt and bad.
Also, it's Watchmen.
No, it's basically
Watchmen, not made by a wizard.
No, it's basically like Superman is Superman, more or less. They call him, what is he like?
They call him.
What is he? It's like America's. He's basically a mix between Captain America and Superman.
I forgot his name, but it's something weird.
He's like the Cape or something stupid, but it's not the Cape, obviously.
Golden Boy.
Yeah,
would be a good name for a parody Superman.
But basically, he's like, he's Superman, but for a corporation. So he's essentially he's a terrible person.
Oh, so it's Mystery Man.
There's a scene where where him and the version of Wonder Woman have to save a plane that's going to go down.
Yeah.
And they screw up because they're not paying attention, and the terrorists that hijacked the plane kill the pilots, and they don't know how to fly it.
And he gets angry, so he lasers the terrorist.
Yeah, he lasers the terrorist.
Which destroys the console.
And destroys the console. So they realize that they won't be able to save everybody. Well, what's better if you're working for a company versus being an actual superhero? What's better for your image? It's going to be to say that, we didn't make it in time, rather than save one person and not save everybody.
So they save the whole plane go down.
And the Wonder Woman's like, we got to save someone. Goes, then she'll tell everyone, and my image is destroyed.
Yeah.
And he rips her out of the plane, and then you just see the plane go and blows up. He goes, well, if the Americans hired us as the military and we work for the military, this would not be a problem overseas. But they're that snacky bill that's making us not work overseas. We can't save these kind of things.
Democracy is such a drag, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what they did. It's really cool.
Well,
and
I could be the God Philosopher King. Yeah,
but there's like a Batman guy in there. Forgot what his name is, but like he doesn't.
It's the darkness.
He doesn't talk.
He has no part.
He doesn't talk. He just wears a ski mask with like nightmare goggles. And someone tried to kill him, and he just runs, and he just throws knives, and that was it. That was his only.
He's
like Imagine Moon Knight meets Rorschach.
Yeah. Okay.
He's cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't talk though.
No. Plays piano in one scene very well.
But then you find out. I don't want to ruin it, but like it's very corporate-esque and corrupt.
Oh, just a reminder. Spoilers for everything that has ever been put to film.
Just all of
it. If you hear a word, pause it. Well, we're going to talk about everything.
Because when you start the show, you don't know that Superman's the bad guy. So
sorry. So you can thank Ethan if you did not hear the reminder about spoilers.
Yeah.
For ruining it for you.
Just make sure.
Please add him. He wants you to add him.
Oh yeah.
Please add him.
I'll take all of it.
Yeah, add him all over the place.
Send it, Richard.
That way you can yell at me every time I give away something. It's not very often because most of these things I haven't seen yet.
Most of the things Tyler's seen.
This one.
Some of the things I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen everything because I don't have a life. But no, it's a good show. But once you find out like how they got their powers or where they got their power, it's like, and they don't know how they got their powers.
Yeah.
It's like corporate America. All right, it's a good show though. I liked it a lot
because they're growing superheroes.
Yeah, we ruined it again. All right, we're trying to keep it. We're trying to keep that spoiler in. But
yeah.
So you find out the corporation's growing them.
It's good.
So are they fighting for spoilers for Snow Crash? Interterra Totality. Are the companies?
Sorry, I zoned out for a bit.
So in Cyberpunk.
Buffer.
So
sorry.
I know we've talked about Cyberpunk 2077.
I can't wait for that
on the show, but in a lot of cyberpunk literature, there is a concept called interterritoriality. It is the one right, because you know, I don't want to get too political here, but with Citizens United, corporations are considered people.
Yeah.
So the next step would be that corporations are considered their own city-states, and that's
Yes.
interterritoriality.
Yep.
So if you work for Walmart, right, in the dystopian cyberpunk future, you would also live at Walmart. You would spend Walmart money. Everything would be Walmart.
Oh, that's how this works. They all live there at the marketing agency.
That is interterritoriality.
So they're technically owned, and they work there, and they only go to events that work for their image. So like, there's one girl, she's like a Christian, but she's not really a Christian, but her image is Christian. So she goes to these fake Christian, like, worship concerts.
She goes like mega churches, yeah.
She goes like Soul Fest. She'll go to a Soul Fest.
She our God.
And there's a guy called Azrael, but you would like this. There's a guy called Azrael, and he's super stretchy, right? And then there's a
Ooh,
secret.
I like my stretchy superhero.
But he goes to a nightclub, and Carl Urban, you know, from Drudge Dredd, goes in the nightclub, and you see Azrael stretching up, and some dude's giving him, you know, head, and he's stretching around, and he's making out with two other guys, and then this kid goes, "Isn't that like the head guy for the Christian like mega church?" He goes,
Spoilers for intercourse. What intercourse is? Continue.
Intercourse. Spoilers. but yeah, no, it's like really funny. So it's like dark. I can go on for days, but
Yeah.
boys, if you haven't seen it,
The
you
Boys.
need the boys.
Yeah.
You need to watch it.
That's good.
So The Boys is there,
good.
but
Oh.
there's been like a big hole in our nerd hearts since Game of Thrones, which went on for a very long time.
It
And
did.
kind of got everyone like the first thing, you know, it's like before the first thing was like the Lord of the Rings movies. It's like before that it was like Beastmaster and like Willow.
Hey, I like Willow.
I mean,
Don't
I like
talk
Willow
bad.
too, but
I
like
bought it on 4K.
they weren't. Oh God, really?
It's great. And when I
Yeah.
mean great, you see everything that's horrible.
Yeah.
Everything that's horrible.
Tyler,
Yeah.
what did the bones say?
I don't remember.
The bones say
Oh, right.
nothing. But you know,
I always forget that
wasn't taken
Val
seriously.
Kilmer's in it.
Yeah, Val Kilmer's great.
I forgot he was in it.
I
me
am
out.
out.
Let me out, Warwick Davis. Let me out.
Forget
I don't think
I
we should
said
jump-
this if he did some horrible thing that I am not aware of, but I am definitely a supporter of more Val Kilmer in movies. Have you guys seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? It was Johnny Depp, not Johnny Depp, Robert Downey Jr.'s first comeback movie. It was before Iron Man, and he plays
Who's
a
Robert Downey Jr.? You know I'm just kidding, right?
yeah. This guy's like, you haven't seen every Marvel movie? And he's telling me he doesn't know who Robert Downey Jr. is. So he plays a cop. Not cop. He plays a criminal who accidentally, while fleeing the police, runs into a film audition. And they are auditioning basically like, you're a criminal and your partner just got shot. And like that's just what happened to him 2 minutes ago.
That's awesome.
And so he like breaks down weeping, and they're like, "This is the guy. This is the actor we need." And they whisk him off to Hollywood, and they're like, "Well, you're going to play a private detective, so we've hired you this consultant." Val Kilmer plays a gay private detective. He's the funniest guy. He's so perfect and
That's
like so unstereotypical as
Yeah,
well. And also Robert Downey Jr.'s like love interest is there, and then there's this whole noir that goes on. It's very
So like Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3.
no, it's very different. It's very funny. Unlike Beverly Hills Cop
love
3.
Beverly Hills Cops 1, 2, and 3.
You love the one
You do.
in the fake Disney World?
I do. I think it's
Yeah.
funny because it's so stupid.
Oh my god.
It's so bad. Hey, we're printing real money here. I swear to you, man. It's like they're only printing Disney bucks. Like, come on. Who has like authentic friggin' printing press for their fake money? Who's like a real printing press for fake money? It's like, I don't see any real money stamps here. It's a real money press for fake Disney. I don't like
No.
going away about it.
Anyway, so I feel like, you know, there was Lord of the Rings, and then there was Game of Thrones was the thing that really brought it was okay to be cool. It was okay to be nerdy. That and the Marvel movies. And now it's done.
It isn't
You-
done.
Well, and the historical
there's the
fiction came
prequel.
back for a little bit. So you had like there was like that pause, and historical fiction made a comeback on Netflix.
Yeah.
And then
The Tudors and-
we finally put a pause on the superhero movies, which I love. But like, thank God. Finally put a pause
I don't
on
like
it.
pauses.
Finally
hate
put a
pause.
pause
I
on the
hate
superhero
pause.
movies.
Yeah.
They're not pausing.
I'm
They
still
got
waiting.
superhero shows coming
I'm
on
still
Disney
waiting
Plus.
for-
I can't wait.
I'm still waiting for
Disney
evil space
Plus.
movies.
If you
to
get
come
Disney
back.
Plus, you can get Spotify and Hulu all in one for $12 a month.
Yeah,
Guess
you know
who
what
already
that sound-
signed up for that?
You know what that sounds like? Cable.
Yeah, that's why you pay $12 a month instead of $350.
Sounds like cable to me. Sounds like we've been duped.
We have been duped.
Just so we can watch Obi-Wan played by Ian McGregor.
Hey,
Which is gonna be great.
we're all gonna watch it.
It's gonna be great.
I'll watch it on your.
That's fine. I'll have a watch
you'll,
party.
You'll show it. You'll show it.
I'll get a video camera and I'll webcam it to you.
Anyway,
I will. You think I won't? I will do that.
there were
For Mark.
guys at the Iron Maiden concert live streaming the Iron Maiden concert.
Oh,
on
yeah, I
Facebook.
forgot we went to that concert.
So tacky. I just wanted to just be like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, of
What
course,
is-
also the concert was there to like sell his beer and the mobile game. So I guess
But it was a good concert,
it was
though.
a very
Yeah.
good concert.
We,
know.
we got better seats than we thought we were. Normally we get the booth, the Xfinity booth,
Right.
but they ushered us into the cement private booths.
So you were
We were closer,
You were
so-
like first row, middle.
But we didn't get pit seats.
So
We
we
had a
were,
pit there.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so usually it's first row, so it's us, then the first row, then the stage. But they brought the stage in to have a pit.
Oh, cool.
We didn't get pit seats.
We didn't get pit seats, no. But we got there early enough that when you get there early enough and it's Comcast booth, you get to pick your chairs, and we picked 1 and 2, which is like here, and there's 2 chairs behind us. So this guy comes up and he takes those chairs, and he goes, well, he was being he's being a nice guy,
I
but
won't say why he was a bad guy, but he's kind of annoying.
yeah,
That's all right.
he was kind of annoying because he basically came up to us and he said,
Of course, we were dressed like this for Iron
no,
Maiden.
no. I was wearing high vis for Iron Maiden. I was wearing a high vis pink shirt and my pink shorts, walking in, and you were wearing my shorts, and you were wearing my orange shirt.
I was
'cause
wearing your clothes as well.
was wearing my clothes.
Don't ask why.
The Walmart high vis tank top.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
so we go in, and we're the
That's
only
awesome.
ones there, and this lady
not
thought,
not black.
but the
Not black.
lady thought we were wearing them so we can easily find each other. No, it's just what I had.
Except it totally worked like 5 times.
It totally did. So we get the beer, and we're sitting down in our seats, and this guy goes, "Are you gonna be standing the whole time?" And we're like, "Oh, no, not for this band." And the guy goes, "Good." So then Iron Maiden gets on. Of course, we're gonna stand. So we get up, and the lady gets really upset that we're getting up and we're standing. And Mark and I are singing. I'm losing my voice because I just got all amped up. 'cause
And
we had
even if
Jamaican
we hadn't
patties.
stood, we would have been the only people not standing.
We
For
would've been-
Iron Maiden.
Even the people who were in wheelchairs were levitating like a foot and a half off
They
the
were.
ground.
I saw a wizard going, "Hi, am I?"
using dark magic.
Yeah, Harry Potter going, "Wingardium Leviosa." They were up.
There's
I don't think
two people that go to concerts that really bug me. The first, I'm not like, into the whole like, Win Butler thing with Arcade Fire where like there has to be a dress code and no phones allowed and blah blah blah. Like I understand you want to
that's
like take a
stupid.
video, put it on Snapchat, send it to your friends, share the moment with your friends. That's great. And sorry Arcade Fire, but guess what? It's really good for your band if people share that.
Yeah, it is.
But they could have gone back on that too. I don't know. That was like 3 years ago. Who cares? But those guys, I'm fine with. It's the people that are like, just gonna film this whole thing.
Yeah, that's what was
Just gonna
happening.
Film this whole
They
thing.
filmed the whole
and I'm
concert.
gonna get hits on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and then the people that don't understand that you're not going to a concert to like sit and have dinner. Like if you want to do that, go to like Night Tales and
Yeah.
like watch a fight.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Or
Yeah,
go to
super fun.
like a little nightclub.
Like medieval
Yeah.
times.
That's what. Oh, Night Tales. That's why I meant medieval.
Night
times.
Tales. I think you mixed up
Night
DuckTales
Tales.
and Medieval Times.
They're redoing
there's
DuckTales,
a
by the
movie
way.
called Night Tales too.
There
Night
is.
Tales.
Yeah.
No, they're redoing DuckTales, but it's going to be Game of Thrones-esque. People are getting mad because it has a better storyline than most of some Disney content.
And probably the end of Game of Thrones.
Probably. The end of Game of Thrones was pretty lame, but I liked it. I'm okay with it. Mark,
I didn't bother watching it.
you
I'm
didn't
one
read
of,
the
like-
books.
I'm
You didn't
worst
read the
ever.
books.
I can't read.
Didn't even- illiterate. But no, so
If it doesn't have
those are the two
pictures and
people.
it's not written by a guy who does a Batman comic, I can't read it.
So the folks that you guys stood in front of, was it the type of guy that's like, hey buddy, hey buddy, hey buddy,
Yeah, no,
he tap you on the back? 'Cause
But
that's
first of
just-
all, he
that's
also
like,
worked for Comcast. He was like, "So, you work for Comcast, and what do you do?" And he's like, Tyler told him what he did.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, "Yeah, I make the stages here."
So he's the water cooler guy.
I make the stages.
And he
here.
told me that. He goes, "Bet you don't. You bet you never been back there before." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
literally just told you what I did.
Yeah, it's like I go back
literally
there.
just told you what I do.
It's like I do audio and I do work at a public access station. He goes like, "What do you do audio for?" It's like, "Well, we do backstage pass here with the actual band for country shows primarily." It's like not all the time, but once in a while we go backstage and do it.
Yeah.
It's annoying. I truly enjoy it. If there's anyone from my work watching this, I truly enjoy it. But it gets annoying because it's a stage environment. It's not really meant for recording a broadcast show because you have like them doing sound check, getting in, and you know. It's
And there's
annoying.
always the quarterback talking about Nationwide there. I assume he's like some sort of dark voodoo curse.
Nationwide by yourself.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning's like
Yeah.
some sort of dark curse, like
Yeah.
every country star.
No, but he was trying to one up us the whole
We
time.
got Peyton Manning wrong. A bunch of people are gonna be mad.
he's just sitting next to like some country star, and
Send it crowd's gonna
they're-
unsubscribe.
they're texting.
I think it's Brad
They're
Paisley.
he's texting. You
It's
know,
Brad Paisley.
name
and
a
Peyton
country
Manning.
star.
Brad
Dirk
Paisley.
Bentley.
Brad Paisley.
Brad Paisley. So Brad Paisley's like texting, and Peyton Manning's just like, "You should be shilling nationwide," and then like his eyes start to go white. He's like, "Ah!"
No, it was.
I just like horror movies, guys. There's nothing wrong with Peyton.
But I
Manning.
mean, like,
I mean, there is.
it was a good concert, but it was just funny because the guy was like trying to like one up me and one up him, and we're like, we're just here for our maiden.
He was, yeah. He was wearing a signifier of being.
Yes, he was, but we're not going to get into that
We're
right
not
now.
into that right now.
We'll get into that later when we're not on cam.
Yeah.
But
All right.
But yeah, he and then he would also say he knew people. But anyway, moving on to this topic, it was a great show. They had a lot of cool pyrotechnics. They had a huge like stilt dude who's dressed up as the trooper coming out, beating up the lead singer, and
And they
the
had a
lead
sword
singer.
fight.
Nice.
Then they shot a gun, and,
Yeah.
and fire came off the
Like,
mascot.
an actual firework came off of the mascot. It was pretty cool.
That's legit.
A lot of puppetry. It was a cool show. Loved it. Loved every minute
Oh,
of it.
how about the time where he had two flamethrowers? He had a flamethrower that
He had
was
a
like
backpack
and it had
flamethrower.
two nozzles, and he
Nice.
went like.
That's
Could have blown up, but he
Ram-
didn't.
That's like Rammstein level. Almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just without the like body horror. It was
Yeah.
like Rammstein without the body horror.
Yeah, without.
So going
Yeah,
back,
cuttlefish.
switching the topic
Without the
back to
prosthetics.
nerdiness.
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings, Amazon original show.
and it's based on the Silmarillion.
Supposedly, that's what I was told, and now I think
you
it's
know
changing.
what?
Which is gonna be wild.
Do we know what story from the Silmarillion?
I think it's going to be all over.
Well, Silmarillion is.
It's like a Bible.
mostly chronological.
But it's like the Bible of Middle Earth.
Yeah, but are we talking like
Yeah.
Brainer the one-handed?
I don't know.
Are we talking like?
Tale. They'll definitely have the tale of like.
Are we talking about the
Bronn
children?
Bronn the Broken?
something
The
with
children of
Sorry.
the children
Wrong
of
story.
what is it? The children of
Valinor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Numenor.
But I mean,
Well,
that's what
Numenor.
when
I
they
don't
were
speak elf.
when they were first teasing it.
Elf.
They were when they were first teasing it. It was supposed to be the Silmarillion, but I'm not sure if it is a Silmarillion anymore. Like that's when they teased it like years ago.
That's
They-
really all they have
yeah.
left.
Well, but they can just make a show.
They do
that,
a Bilbo
like,
song.
nobody cares about that.
I do. I bought the
Bilbo's-
book. It's hilarious because it's about poets.
It's there and back again, is it not?
No, it's Bilbo's song. It's a poetry book of the poetry that Bilbo
Oh,
wrote.
like his riddles. And,
His riddles and
yeah.
dumb stuff. I bought it because I thought it was funny.
That's
So
It
It
when
is
he's
kind of
drunk
fun.
off his butt in
That does sound
Rivendell.
And it's not
Yeah.
written by Tolkien. It's written by his son, I think.
Who does a great job.
He's great.
He does great. I'm
I
not
agree.
saying
The
he
children of
isn't. Ahern? That's,
Huron, yeah,
that's a
Huron-
fantastic
Huron's Tale.
book.
yeah. I read that.
creeps me
yeah.
out.
I read that, and that would be
Oh
a
my
great.
gosh.
Well, and that's in the Silmarillion, I
And I
believe.
can't
like,
read
Huron
it.
And,
creeps
and
somebody
then I could see why they could throw Orlando Bloom in there, not as Legolas, but as just a.
No,
a-
he's
a dumb
coming
elf.
back as Legolas. That's what they said last week. That could be a complete lie,
No,
but he's coming back as
it
Legolas.
is possible because Legolas was Gen 2 elves.
Gen 2 elf.
So he wasn't originally from.
So if they're doing part of the Silmarillion that was about the first battle with Sauron, he'd be there.
Oh, before that.
He was around for Melkor.
Just after.
Yeah.
So I know- I know
Came across
nothing
the little
about-
ice bridge. They
Yeah.
all woke up, became sentient,
Yeah.
screwed up Valinor, right?
Yeah.
We're sorry.
No,
for
what's Gen
butchering
2?
this.
I know nothing about
Okay,
this.
so basically,
Ethan,
second.
explain
Ask
all
me about
of the
Klingons.
Silmarillion.
Ask me about Klingons, but I know nothing about Gen 2
okay,
elves.
so basically, elves were created. Okay, back up.
So the Battle
it's
of the Somme.
part of it is it's a little bit of a like parallel with like the Christian Bible, but not 100%. It's like a mix between that and Nordic. So basically, there's one God, but he's more of a like they describe him as a song.
He's an all-father.
And so, yeah, that's actually perfect. He's an
Okay.
all-father, more or less.
Yeah.
So, like the Christian references don't really come in until the Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
trilogy. But basically,
There's some.
basically there's an All-Father, and there's all these other spirits that he exists with that are his children, and all of them are resonating along with his vibe, his song.
His song,
and then,
literally his song.
Yeah, and then Melkor's like,
He's the prettiest boy. He's the
Melkor
blonde one.
figured out.
Oh, okay.
Melkor figured out the death metal chord, and created evil.
Yeah.
And there was spirits
Because he
that
wanted
went
his
along
dad
with
to
him.
see him and notice him.
Yeah, and there's spirits that went along with him, and
Because they were confused.
that created all that. So, and then you got chucked into a void, but his spirits remain, and they serve him until they can get him out of the void. But so
And
then,
he does come out of the void.
Yeah, then All-Father creates Middle Earth, and there's a series of spirits. There's like the Zeus, and Athena and the Hera, and so on and so forth. But then there's demigods as well. So demigods
Like
would
Tom
be like Tom Bombadil.
Who even the other gods don't really know where he came from. Like he could have been there before. Like we don't.
And back again.
Every time you do that, I'm gonna kick you under the table.
Right.
Okay.
So that's your
Yeah,
first
more or
warning, and then
less.
after that,
Serious matters at stake here.
No, so basically, yeah, there's him. There's just a bunch of versions of him, basically. Guys like the King of the Silver River, except that's Shannara, but similar characters.
love that show.
Well, Terry Brooks based a lot of his stuff. His
most fantasy is at least
based
somewhat
off of-
cribbed from
off of
Tolkien.
Tolkien.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Tolkien's the king.
Yeah.
He's the All Father.
He-
To whip that out again.
more or less. So anyway, what were we talking? Oh, so the elves. So basically, the main 3 or 4 gods of Middle Earth made Middle Earth, and they're like, all right, this is cool.
Elves are the main boys.
So
They're the
you
chosen
know,
people.
so yeah, Big Brother's like, I'm gonna make the best thing ever. You guys gotta check this out. Boom, elves, and then other brothers like, all right, I'm really jealous. Makes the dwarves. And he goes, nah, screw that. They're going to sleep for a while.
Yeah, the dwarf. Because what happened?
Wait, just
because
put-
all of this
he just
actually
goes, These guys are ugly.
No,
sleep.
because the other
'Cause-
brother was like, hey, you can't make those. That's not gonna work out for me. I want them to live out their eon. So he's like, fine. So he puts him to sleep under a mountain for a while. Those are the dwarves.
Till a dragon came.
But yeah, well, and so, but there's Middle Earth, and then there's
Because Malpor made all the dragons.
the land of the elves, and the elves live in harmony and blah 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 blah. But Melkor comes as a spider and stabs. They have a tree that creates all the light for Earth. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Earth has a giant tree that gives light.
So
Before the sun.
let's get a little bit vaguer.
Yeah.
The reason why everyone's freaking out about destroying the ring in Lord of the Rings, it never gets explained in the movie. Everyone's like, why are people debating
Sauron's
this?
not that bad
Yeah, why are people debating?
at all, really. Technically,
Why are people debating the ring? Why are they debating the ring? Why is this even a debate? If this is the thing that destroys the big bad, it's because the reason the rings exist is because Tolkien believed in this type of philosophy that C.S. Lewis also believed in. That basically, as we get further from creation, from when God created Earth has infused less with his divine energy. And in Tolkien, that is mirrored by magic slowly fading in Middle-earth.
so if they destroy that,
So the rings were originally created by Sauron and this pimp-ass elven Smith, who is the guy, if you play the Assassin's Creed Lord of the Rings games, the Shadow of Mordor games, he's the ghost guy behind you, is that guy. And I forget his name.
yeah, I don't remember his name.
I'm bad with names. Regardless, they create those rings so that magic can be sustained in the places of elven and dwarven populations. So that's why whenever you walk into Rivendell, the filter changes, right? And everything gets all and soft,
Yeah.
and like the water is always flowing beautiful. Like, because that's the only place that magic exists in Middle Earth are the elven places.
Yeah.
The only reason that the like you know how they talk about, oh, there used to be sorcerers but there aren't really anymore. That's because there's no ambient magic left on Middle Earth. The only people who can cast magic spells who aren't elves, who are in one of these areas or have one of the rings, are the wizards who are actually angels.
Yeah.
But there's not when Lord of the Rings happened, you don't have any wizards left but Gandalf, right? Because Radagast is gone.
There's Gandalf.
There's
Radagast is still around in the
There's
books.
Gandalf, Radagast.
I know the twins are gone.
Saruman.
Saruman's
And then there
still
was
there.
like a blue wizard
There
and a
were
gray wizard.
2 blue wizards who
The two
Peace
blue
out.
wizards.
they
And
peaced
so
out to the
that's
east.
that's the theme.
But they're alive, though, during Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, they're just in the east.
Okay.
Basically, in Lord of the Rings, it's always just this like feeling of like it's like conservation. It's like the last of something, and it's always just like sad and going away because basically these gods weren't perfect. They're not the All Father, so they created a world where somebody's going to look for power. It's basically it's a his view of like the British Empire versus
Yeah. And so
modernization.
so when he's talking about this
But-
tree, that tree was the source of magic.
Yeah.
And Malcor convinced the elves to turn the tree into the Cimmerels so they'd have more conserved magic. So he could steal the Cimmerels. So
magic
he could have
for power versus magic as
an
life.
ambient life force.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
which inevitably kills the magic and the beings that were designed for it. But
And so the reason that they didn't want to destroy the One Ring, or they felt bad about it, is if you destroy the One Ring, since they're bound to all the other rings, the other rings would also break.
Yeah.
Which means magic is gone. And that's why even though it doesn't really happen in the books the way that it does, when they're all like, oh, Aragorn marrying the elf lady, they're like, yeah, you don't want to be stuck here on Middle Earth with your husbando, because he will eventually die, and so will all magic, and then you'll never be able to get to Elf Heaven, and you'll just be wandering the world alone.
yeah, because elves when they die don't go anywhere. They have to be preserved forever to go to elf heaven,
Yeah, they have to be brought physically to Elf Heaven.
like in their bodies.
didn't Frodo and Bilbo go to?
Yeah, they did.
They
went
go to Elf Heaven, right?
They go to Elf Heaven.
They just go, peace. We're gonna go drink until you die in Elf Heaven.
Yeah,
They got a boat and did their thing.
yeah, but like so basically, yeah, she just basically
Says, no, I'm staying.
hung out and then went.
But
to
she missed
sleep
her boat
forever.
ride.
But didn't die. Like they don't.
But also Aragorn's not dead. There's a whole thing with him too.
Yeah.
There's a whole King Arthur thing.
Yeah.
So Gen 2 elves.
'Cause
We
they
never
go-
explained
Okay,
that.
so basically they had the tree in Elf Heaven. This was their home. Tree gets destroyed. It's also like all of light for the world. So then the gods are like, all right, we got to redo everything. So then they make the sun, the moon, and stars, blah blah. Meanwhile, Elf Heaven, they screwed up. They get banished.
All the
So-
spiders live there now.
They have to
Like
cross.
Shelob and everything.
They have to cross a scary ice bridge, and that's about the era where Legolas would have been born.
Now, when you say born, was he born physically
Yes.
from
Yeah,
two
physically
elves?
born.
And that's a second gen elf.
But they're like they're like Kiwis. They have like one baby every 900.
So when you're
years.
saying a Gen 2 elf, you mean a physically born elf from elf people.
Yeah.
Who's second generation. So they don't have kids until they're like 910.
There's only like 2 generations of elves.
No,
So,
I know, but
yeah.
I didn't know what you meant by Gen
Yeah,
2.
and
I
they
wasn't
don't
sure if like a guy went,
really-
there's Gen 2,
Well,
there's
and
Gen
they
3.
don't really discuss that, and I just think that's because Tolkien was a Victorian.
Yeah.
Now,
And
this
I
is
think
the
that's
next
why.
one.
Because,
We're gonna
even mentioning progenitors is not okay.
now before we end the episode, I want to know because I didn't really understand this.
Okay.
So wizards can die because Saruman dies.
Not
That's
really. No,
Saruman
they can't
on
die.
They lose their
the White
their-
Wizard.
They
That's,
lose- they
that's
lose
their
Saruman.
form.
They lose their
form.
their meat show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what happened? So what happened to the White Wizard?
He went back to heaven.
And I get that.
Gandalf?
And
When
Gandalf
Gandalf-
died, and he came back as a White Wizard. How come he came back and the other guy didn't?
Well, he actually
Balrog?
the White
Those are
Wizard
different.
the White Wizard hadn't died yet when Gandalf comes back. This is what happens. So they fight Malcor the one time.
Yeah,
it kind of
Saruman
works.
doesn't die.
Malcor comes back. They have to fight him again. They bring the humans around to help fight.
But I'm talking about the tower.
We're getting there.
Okay,
And
We're getting
all right,
there.
all right, sorry.
This is
We're getting there.
millions of years before.
So they bring the humans around to fight the Malcor and finally banish him the last time. And when that happens, the gods are like, we are tapped. We need to go away.
Yeah.
And so that's when magic starts to fade.
Peace out.
And so they're like, we're going to give you some people to help out. And those are the wizards.
Yeah.
And each one of them used to be just like a kind of like a demigod, like a muse almost, actually.
Yeah, they just were like heavenly spirits that because there are the demigods. Like Tom Bombadil is a very lesser demigod, and then you've got Gandalf.
Yeah.
They're more like they were not gods, but they're angels created
Yeah.
to be companions of those gods.
And so they each got picked for a specific purpose. Saruman's purpose was to be the bastion of all things, all knowledge of like battle magic, and he's the leader of the pack because if Malcor comes back, he's the only guy who can whip his butt. Gandalf is supposed to be like the man of the people, and he's the guy who helps people with their actual everyday problems. And so that's why Gandalf notices what's going on before Sauron, because Saruman is like a third lieutenant. He's like not that big of a deal, even though they battle him once. It's just like whatever. And that's when Gandalf realizes he's coming back in the second one because it's like the second time because he's like actually got his thumb on the pulse of the people.
Yeah, and then there's ideas.
So that's why he comes back.
No, when he comes back, it's because the gods. Because originally they were thinking that they were going to make Gandalf. The gods thought that they were going to make Gandalf the same power level as Saruman. Excuse me, but he didn't want it. He didn't even want to go. He didn't think he was good enough. So when he died, he got sent to heaven. They were like, all right.
They recharged him.
They gave him a zet because they're like, now he was ready. That's why he says, I am what Sauron should have been.
Basically a Christmas story. He went back, got his wings, and they're like, all right, bet.
All right,
but why does he call himself Gandalf the White?
Because he's now fulfilling the role that Sauron the White should have filled. Yeah. He is the protector of the realm.
So then who becomes the new Gandalf the Grey?
Nobody. Because there aren't no gods no more to make one.
No, I understand that. But if that's the case, there's no gods to make one. Who recharged him? A god?
Because he went back to
this is what I don't get.
Middle Earth,
You've
right?
got Middle Earth, Elfland, Heaven, Void where they put Melkor.
And there used to be a permeable barrier.
It's like a
like
cell.
A time gap?
It's like a cell.
There used to be a permeable layer.
It's like a cell.
But now it's like a hard crust. You can only get through it by dying. I don't even think the humans can go to heaven. I don't even remember.
It doesn't really talk about it.
They don't talk about it. But basically, he was able to go there and come back because the slippery themes. Don't think about it
Because of what?
too much.
Because of what?
Because Christ metaphors. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
But also the gods sent him back with power.
Well,
But Saruman didn't die. Because I always thought he died.
No, he didn't.
Because in the books, it's completely different, the ending.
Saruman goes to
Hobbiton.
Saruman gets downgraded hardcore. Because the other thing you have to remember, magic is not like infinite.
Yeah.
It's a consumable commodities.
Yeah.
Which is why Gandalf didn't really like using it that often, right?
Well,
in the movie, I don't
He
really
didn't
read
like
the books that
that
much.
was one of the reasons, but the other reason is because Gandalf felt that power in any form was corrupted.
yeah, because he agreed with the idea of magic being more of a ambient sustaining life force rather than concentrating it to be a weapon. But he also wasn't into controlling people.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, fine. If you're going to go to Helm's Deep, that's cool. It's not going to work out, but that's not my place. You know, it is, if I start to control you, then you are not having your
Because his, domain was life.
It's also, again, you have to remember, it's also a discussion on Calvinism versus, free will versus predestined theology. Yeah. So you put in a lot of different stuff. But also you have to remember it's, post-World War I, what the hell is going on? World War II happens, what the hell is going on? Shell shock.
And Tolkien and C.S. Lewis at the time were like, no, the world is not going to infinitely get better all the time. It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
And a new age happens.
Until rapture.
Oh, well.
That's what they believe.
Well, I'm glad I just read, simple books like, comic books and
But anyway,
Star Trek.
in the book,
Jeez.
Saruman doesn't die.
No, he goes to the Shire.
He goes to the Shire.
He actually goes to the Shire. They didn't save the Shire. Like in the movie, it's like, oh, the Shire saved. It's like, no. He goes to the Shire.
Because he's so
enslaves everybody
pissed off.
for because you also have to remember, it took them 6 months to just get to Gondor from the Shire.
Yeah.
So on their way, when they're like, la 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 la, we won. There's 6 months to a year of tyranny in the Shire.
Yeah.
Oh, not in Hobbiton.
But then the reason I like it so much is because you get to finally see the hobbits as warriors and as champions.
Well, that's cool because that'd be nice to see in a movie.
Because they come back and they lead all the hobbits to revolt, and You know,
because his magic is spent from the keep. He's just an evil guy, basically.
yeah.
He's like a minor magician now. So
And
they're
so,
just
like-
whatever.
And so, like, Merry and Pippin are able to use their experience from the wars, because they were soldiers in the wars, to, like, lead troops. And then
They've also been imbued with some magic,
A little
some
bit.
like weird old tree magic.
creepy old magic.
Yeah, they did get some old magic.
And
Which
also,
is-
you can get magic kind of, like, just from being, like, very, like, there's very, like, Celtic-style magic and, like, Scandinavian-style magic Lord of the Rings.
You just
So,
come in
like-
contact with it, and it
So, like, the
happens to you.
fact that Pippin was there when
Mary.
Gwendolyn, the woman, I am not a man, wolf, stab.
Oh,
So that would have given him some magic power just because
Oh.
he was there. So like that comes from like Celtic naming magic
Yeah.
and from like curses in Celtic mythology. So like when they made that evil man, they were like, all right, no man can kill you. But in like Celtic mythology, the way that works is like it's literal. So that's why she was able to kill him.
It's cool.
And so, like, you know, a lot of heroes in Celtic myth, like Cuchulainn, they get killed because like they took an oath to never turn down food from a woman or some weird
Yeah,
thing,
right.
and then they also did an oath to never cross a body of water at a certain time of day, and they have to decide which oath they're going to break, and then they make the more honorable choice, but it seals their fate. They're going to die.
Wow.
It's usually what happens.
But so the movies, I guess, from what you just said, are a lot different than the books.
they have to be.
Slightly.
Slightly different, but yeah, but they have to be because they can't do all that stuff in them. It's like comic book movies.
And also,
They're
they
not all
they
the same.
fleshed out a lot of characters. Aragon's way more interesting in the movie than he is in the book.
Yeah.
100%.
So is Radagast.
Radagast was like hiding.
It was like 2 seconds.
He was
Yeah, I
hiding.
know, but like they made him look cooler in the movie than
Yeah,
they did
yeah.
ever
Yeah.
described in the book.
Yeah.
Like he had like jackalopes like freaking rushing around.
Right. Yeah.
I
Well,
thought
also,
that was cool.
Hobbit movies.
Honestly, though,
Yeah.
if you were a
Not
character in Lord of the Rings,
Bad.
you're our Radagast. I'm just gonna tell you,
Bad.
he's our Radagast.
Nah, man, I'm a Hobbit 100%.
No, you're a Radagast, dude. Like every single time I see Radagast, I go, "There's Mark Russell."
Nah, man.
Dude, you're Radagast.
I'm not Radagast.
Yeah, you're Radagast.
How am I Radagast?
Dude, just the way he acts, he's just like, "Oh, we got something in my beard." All right.
No, Radagast is like all like
Radagast was
nervous,
a weird, like on shrooms, and
And,
like
like-
is not how he is in at least like
not calm.
the
He's
original
not calm, and I'm a
literature.
fairly calm dude. I'm not all like, I can't do this. It's gonna. I'm not all anxious and stuff.
All right. Well, we gotta end this episode.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
We
Why-
guys.
never talked about about any of the things we were going to talk about. We just explained why elves suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't even get into that.
That's like a 3
I
episode
was like,
long.
I was like, should I talk about good versus evil elves, and how none of them care one way or another whether or not they are good or evil? No, no, we won't get into that just yet. Or my theory that the Blue Wizards were the ones that were like kind of keeping track of all the old stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
That's why you've got the what's that like weird race of people that they bump into in between Helm's Deep and Gondor?
Oh, the Falmer?
Like the Woes people.
Yeah.
The Woes people.
Yeah.
Like everybody skipped over that, and it's like, but where did they come from? No
Yeah.
one knows. Are they men? No. Are they elves? No. Well, and they're just like, we don't know what happened. Everything's gone. It's like, yeah, Blue Wizards.
Well, that's the thing. I read the Silmarillion. I went like, there's more than just 2 wizards.
Or like the Ents. Like, who took care of the Ents? There's
Yeah.
always a keeper of everything.
Yeah.
They don't know. And they didn't bother to ask the Eagles because they would know.
And where are the Lady Ants?
Where the Lady Ents.
They're in the Shire.
Well, the Lady Ents are in Tom Bombadil's wood.
Yeah,
those
they're
are
in the
all
Shire.
those are all the moving trees.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, anyway, thank you for
Where'd
watching.
you
Yeah,
come?
yeah.
Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come, Bombadil Joe?
Well, thank you for watching this episode of the club. If
Yeah.
you'd like to follow us personally and all that, my Instagram and Twitter is @TylerKittleman.
I'm Ethan_Kosenska, and
I'm Sir Edward Price.
And
Don't
don't forget to send it to the bell.
we just got to send it hard.
Send it.
Set it and hit the subscribe button. All right. Cool. Well, I guess that's the episode.
That's the episode.
Yeah.
Tolkien.